Today we are talking about the reality of winter mobile detailing. Not only what to expect during the winter, but how do I actually survive the winter as a professional mobile detailer. So let's not waste any time, let's get straight into it. Yo, what is up guys? Jamie from Jamie's Detailing. Today I'm talking about the reality of winter mobile detailing. At least how I see it from my perspective here in Chicago. And I know it's gonna be similar for a lot of you guys in different states, especially our northern states. And shout out to everybody who is mobile detailing right now or running a detailing business in this weather. This is probably gonna be the toughest time of the year. We just all had that massive snowstorm, sleet storm, ice storm for some of you guys. If you guys are down in Texas or any of the other states that got hit that really don't see weather like this too often, I hope that you guys are all safe out there and getting through this winter and staying warm. But today, guys, I want to talk to you guys about the reality as I see it for winter detailing. And winter detailing is an absolute grind, especially if you guys are mobile. You guys are going to completely have to adapt to the winter in order to just get by and survive. Number one, guys, what do I expect during the winter? I expect revenue to be down and I expect business to be slow. So with those two things, I think the biggest reasons are because during the winter, people just aren't thinking about getting a detail. They see their vehicle sitting outside or sitting in their garage. They see how dirty it is inside and out, and they're just thinking to themselves, hey, I think I'm just gonna schedule that detail with Jamie, come March, come April, when things get a little bit nicer. And for now, I'm just gonna go over to the quick touchless car wash, get it rinsed off, and be done with it. So a lot of my clients honestly do that during the winter, and honestly I don't fault them for it. It's something that I sometimes do with my vehicle, is just go over to the quick touchless wash and get it rinsed off. So I totally see why people are doing that, and who wants to spend $200-300 on a detail when they know the second they start using that vehicle again, it's gonna get dirty. Now, this reality hit me pretty hard my first two winters, guys. I really was not prepared and I didn't save up enough money to really get myself easily through the winter. But now that this is now my fourth winter, I kind of know what to expect. So I know when revenue is going to be down, I know business is going to be slow, and I know that I'm going to have to adapt to just even be able to work in the winter climate. So during the winter, that is typically what I expect. I expect things to be slow. I know I'm not going to be working every single day. And honestly, if I really have to be honest with you guys, I don't want to work every day during the winter. The winter is so rough. Trying to work outside, trying to bring heaters and all that type of stuff into your clients' garage spaces to be able to work. So honestly, if I had it 100% my way, I wouldn't work at all during the winter. But I know as a business, it's smart for me to still obviously stay in business and accommodate to people when they hit me up for certain requests. So during the winter, it is a grind, but I really do what I have to do throughout the winter months to make it work, especially if I have past clients and even new clients that are looking for a detail. I always try to make it work when possible. But I definitely had to say no quite a bit, especially to people that don't have garage spaces or don't have some type of area to accommodate me so that I can at least stay somewhat warm and keep the car above freezing so that I'm not dealing with frozen chemicals on paint, all that kind of stuff. So you definitely have to accommodate during the winter. Now, my first 2 years, guys, were extremely rough. Honestly, really almost didn't make it through winter without needing to pick up another job or whatever the case may have been. But really those first two winters, guys, were rough for me. So luckily my girlfriend had a full-time job at that time, so between the two jobs we were fine. But honestly, I was not prepared my first winter for how slow it is, and I really didn't even have a heater at that point to be able to heat up people's garages and stuff like that. So I think you guys get it. Winter is a grind, and it definitely sucks to be out here on certain days during the winter trying to detail when it's well below freezing. In fact, just yesterday I wasn't a detail, we'll get into that in a minute, but it was a little bit of an odd job for a past client. But even yesterday I was working here in my home garage on a big Ram 1500 e-tron, whatever it's called. Anyways, big Ram 1500, can't exactly work on it here in the home garage with the garage door closed, so I had to work in 9-degree temperature yesterday for like 2.5 hours, which really wasn't terrible because I have a really nice heater now, but I know my first 2 years, a job like that really would have sucked. Winter detailing sucks, but what are my actual goals throughout the winter? My actual goals throughout the winter are just to make 33% of my normal revenue from, you know, spring, summer, and fall. So whatever your normal revenue, guys, whatever your normal revenue goals are throughout the rest of the year, you guys should kind of adjust that so that 33% is at least paying you guys, and you guys are also able to pay your overhead for your business itself. So you should be able to pay for whatever, you know, subscriptions you guys have, whatever marketing services you guys have. You guys should be able to pay for your website, any of the stuff that you guys have to pay for, your insurance, all that kind of stuff. That's all worked into that 33%, including what you guys need to pay yourself, your base salary, in order to make it through the winter months. So if you guys know that you need $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month to pay yourself just to be able to survive, that needs to be in that 33%. So that's kind of how I figure out what my goal should be for the year is, hey, how much do I need to pay myself this year just to scrape by, just to have enough to feed my family and all of that stuff, and pay the overhead on my business, pay all my bills, my insurance, anything that I need. That should all be worked into that 33%, and then I know that my other 66%, that's my actual goals throughout the rest of the year. So that's kind of how I figure out my revenue goals and all that kind of stuff for the year. But the reason I make it 33% is so that other 60%, guys, that should be, that other 60% that I'm making all my other good months out of the year, some of that needs to go into actually paying me for the slow months of the year if I'm not able to meet that 33% revenue. So I need to still be able to pay my business and have money in the bank those slow months. So anyways, guys, 33% is my goal throughout the winter, to really hit that 33% so that I know I can pay my overhead, pay all my bills, and pay myself so that I can put food on the table. So ideally, throughout the rest of the year, if you guys are always hitting your revenue goals throughout fall, summer, and spring, I don't know why I did that backwards, but if you guys are meeting your revenue goals throughout those other months, you guys should easily be able to pay yourself throughout those couple of slow months that you guys are going to have that are really the most difficult to get out there in detail, and you're you know, having to spend extra money on heaters and all that kind of stuff. If you guys are doing good throughout the rest of the year, ideally, you won't have to work during the winter. You can say yes to the jobs that you guys want, and you guys can say no to the jobs that aren't going to be really practical for the winter months. You guys really don't want to be killing yourself out here in order to just get a few $100 on a base level detail. So during the winter, my biggest goal is to focus on the bigger clients, jobs that pay a higher dollar amount per hour. So I'm really trying to focus on stuff like headlight restoration. I'm focusing on, because I can get it done quick, and it's pretty simple. I can have a heater in one general location blasting right at me, and it's really easy to get stuff done that way. Other stuff that I'm doing, scratch removals. I'll also be doing paint transfer removals. I'll be doing all this little stuff. I'll be like the other day I just went out and buffed out some guy's tailgate because they closed the garage door on the tailgate, which I have a actual product for that. We'll talk about that later. But I'm always finding all the odd jobs throughout the winter. Those are gonna be my bread and butter because I can hit them up, I can get in, I can get out quick, and I'm making more money per hour on those typical jobs. So those are really the jobs that I'm trying to get throughout the winter. If I have past clients that I remembered that they wanted to get that scratch removed at a later date, or they wanted to, address maybe a panel really needed some correction, they have some scuffs from a parking lot or something like that. Those are the clients that I'm hitting up during the winter to try to see if I can get them to come into my home-based garage where I have full control of the elements. I can have my heaters on and all that kind of stuff. Or I am also thinking about what clients was I working with throughout the summer or throughout the spring and fall that have garage spaces that are organized enough for me to work at their places. So I'm always trying to find those quick, I don't want to call them quick and easy jobs, but those higher dollar, those higher value jobs. I'm always looking for those, and I'm always trying to hit up past clients that I typically know like to keep their vehicles at a cleaner level, and they're probably going to say yes to, hey, coming over to their place and doing a detail in their garage. So that's really how I meet that 33% throughout the winter, but I'm also prepping for next year. So this is a great time of year to pick up new contracts with your city, with USPS, with UPS, with any transportation type business. You guys can get new trucking companies. So really focus in on those fleet accounts. Get those contracts signed, get those deposits in so that you guys can keep the revenue flowing throughout the winter months, and so that you guys can have a way bigger year this year than you did last year. So even though I'm slow and not detailing and not putting hands on cars every single day, I still want to be at least out there contacting past clients, talking to new businesses that maybe I haven't worked with that I know have a certain number of commercial vehicles. That would be a great client to pick up, or a great account to pick up. So I'm always looking for new stuff to do for the next year so that I can have a much bigger year, and so that my actual spring, summer, and fall are super easy. I'm just out doing the detail work itself. I already did all the hard work during the winter when it was slow. So that is pretty much how winter looks for me, guys. Winter is an absolute grind. My first 2 years were really rough, but now that I know what to expect and I kind of know what goals I should have throughout the winter, I'm definitely a whole lot less discouraged about the slow winter months, and it makes my winters actually somewhat enjoyable because I can spend more time with my family, and I can spend more time on the back end of my business and actually building my business so that this year, 2026, we could have an even bigger year than we did last year. So I'm really trying to focus on building up my business for this current year right now, and I'm looking to adjust any services, all that kind of stuff, so that I can have a much bigger year. But down in the comment section down below, guys, I would love to hear, number one, where are you guys located at? And number two, what does winter detailing, specifically winter mobile detailing, look like for you guys? Are you guys typically taking just straight up months off for winter, or do you guys kind of pick up some little jobs here and there, small interior jobs, stuff that you guys can knock out quickly and hopefully in a controlled, heated environment? Before I get out of here, I want to make sure I hope that all of you guys are staying safe this winter, staying warm this winter, and that you guys are, having an enjoyable time if you guys are slow and you guys are able to spend a little bit extra time with the family and the things that really matter. So anyways, guys, that is pretty much all that I had for today's video. Make sure you guys drop those comments down below. I would love to hear what your guys' winter is typically like, but that is pretty much all that I had for today's video. So I will catch you guys next week when, yeah, we're pretty much getting back to videos as normal now. So I'm forcing myself back into getting consistent with this stuff on every Sunday. And honestly, guys, it's a big goal of mine this year to be posting 2 times a week, one short video, hopefully on Friday, and our typical long form tutorial or review or something like that on Sundays. So anyways, guys, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.